A couple of days ago, I got to visit a location that I've wanted to photograph for a very long time, the Cuckmere River in the South Downs National Park. That's because it was there where one of the photographers that I admire the most made one of his best images, at least in my opinion, 60 years ago. It was there where Bill Brandt made this beautiful image back in 1963. An image that I know very well because I used to see it every day because it used to be the wallpaper on my laptop. I love this photograph because of how simple yet so beautiful it is. This is one of the things that I love the most about Bill Brandt's work. He was able to create really beautiful images in very humble spots. Don't get me wrong, the South Downs is a beautiful place, but it's not epic. And yet this image by Bill Brandt beats many more made in much more dramatic locations, at least in my opinion again. So I wanted to see the place by myself. How did he made that image? Now, I don't know the story behind that image. I don't know too much about the place, so it is very possible. I'm sure that many photographers did or took the same photograph before him, but his is the only one I know of. But quite possibly he was doing what I did a couple days ago. He was just trying to take a photograph of a place that someone else took a photograph of before. But no matter who was the first to create that composition, I believe that visiting places where photographers that we admire created some of their best photographs can be very educational. It can show you how they saw the place, how they moved over the landscape. Because when we look at a photograph, we see what's there, of course, but we don't see what's not there. We don't see what was around the photographer, what the photographer decided to leave out. Why did they stand there and not a little bit farther up or a little bit farther down, to the left, to the right? Why? I wasn't trying to make an exact copy of Bill Brandt's image because the conditions were not going to be the same. I only had one day there, so I had to work with what I had. It's just my guess that Bill Brandt's image was made in the morning, just after sunrise, because it looked like there is some mist in the background kind of burning off. I didn't have any of that. I actually made the image in the late afternoon, almost evening. It was a partly cloudy day. It was very challenging to get the right lighting. But after trying for a couple hours, I got something I was very happy with. I had to go with a long exposure because the sky was a little bit chaotic and there were a few people playing around the river and on the river. So the long exposure got rid of all of that. It's a photograph that I really like, again, because it's very simple, but it's really beautiful, the shape of the river. And I try to hide all the details of the landscape, all that the grass and everything. I darken the shadows quite a bit. You can only see a little bit of texture here and there, but it's mostly black. And then you have in the sky the clouds, the motion of the clouds because of the long exposure. But what matters in this image is all about that river, the shape of the river, the bend in the river, and how it stands out because it's the brightest thing in the frame. As you can imagine, I'm in the UK. I'm going to be here mostly in Scotland for quite a while, and I will try to do the same again. I will try to visit locations where Bill Brandt went and took some images, not only him, but Michael Kenna, other photographers that I admire as well, and try to to be there and see what they saw and feel what they felt. Talk about Michael Kenna, I did this couple years ago almost in La Mancha when I was photographing the windmills there in Spain. I had always liked his images of the windmills, so it was very cool to be there at the same spot where he was a long time before me, and trying to see the place through his eyes and trying to imagine what he was thinking. And of course, always trying to add your own twist, your personality to the image, not just copying what others have done before. So yeah, I totally encourage you to go to locations, to visit locations where photographs that you like were made, especially lesser known places, you know, not just grand vistas, viewpoints in grand vistas in national parks or anything like that, but things that you might miss if you hadn't seen it before in a photograph. Because again, it can teach you a lot about photography, it can teach you a lot about the location, it can teach you a lot about the photographer who took it first, and it can make you a much better photographer. All right, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.